is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Taylor Hinton Speaks His Mind, the number one online health and fitness podcast in the entire world, based off of my own opinion. Okay. So, what we're going to do here, as you guys know, on Form Friday is dive into our Lift and Learn community. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to give you guys some feedback in the chat, and Angela and I will get to those as we are on here. Let me open this up. No, on Raven's always on though. She's first up on Lift and Learn. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Little thumbs up for me. Let me get my. Here we go. You want to kick to get that? You need to just like let me know if you guys can't, see the screen for whatever reason. But so far, it looks like things are going well. I'm gonna call on Raven first. We're gonna rip through this quickly. Raven, unmute, share, win. Damn, nice. Love to hear it. Good job. Way to get it done. We have Aubrey was in next. Aubrey, unmute, share, win. Too late. Okay, Chelsea, go ahead, unmute, share, win. Aubrey, you can put yours in the chat.
Same as Raven. I
Sorry.
have all my workouts. Same as Raven. I have all my workouts done.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Aubrey. We're gonna be checking the chat to make sure you get that in there. Okay, make sure you frickin' do it. And she left. She's like, nah. Just kidding. She always has like some connection stuff going on. Ange, do you want to take over for Raven here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. I'm excited to see some videos because I haven't seen some in a while. Hip thrust machine. This hip thrust machine is kind of odd. I wish the platform came down more, like towards the left, but that's okay. Control looks really, really good. Got some freaking weight on there too. I would say overall, this looks really, really good, and there's not much that I would change other than probably just your tempo. Just slow it down a little bit more on the negative, and really like activate that squeeze at the top and then slowly lower it down. There's really not much else I would change other than if this machine allowed it, I would like the platform to be sorry, the platform to be longer so then your feet can go down towards your butt more. Since that's not possible, I think this is just fine.
Yeah, Raven, you might, I don't know, maybe your machine allows like this backrest to slide more towards your heels. I don't know if that's even a possibility. Otherwise, I totally on board with everything Angie's saying there.
Landmine sumo squat. I love these. Okay, this is really good. A couple things I would change up here. So first off, I really like your stance. It's nice and wide. You don't have to have your toes pointed out that much if you don't want to. That's kind of preference though. For you to get more depth, Raven, I want you using multiple smaller plates instead of one bigger plate, because that way you'll be able to get down deeper into your squat. And then also, I really want you focusing on your glutes on this one. So instead of just squatting straight down, you see how upright your back is? I want you almost like purposely hinging over a little bit. Like if we were to do a step up or something, think of like all the weight, how we kind of lean forward on our front foot in a step up, and your back is now like this instead of like this. That's what I want you doing. So really hinge your hips back and push back with your glutes while squatting down. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Ma'am. Yeah, other than that, I would do like a few 2 or 3 25-pound plates, and then from there you can really get down into a deeper squat. Looks good.
2 cents. I'm gonna go ahead and insert myself into this one too. Raven, is that with this one? Yeah, I think that's awesome. Is to get the smaller plates on there. This is one of those exercises, and I don't know like how Angela has your program made or anything, but if as long as Angela's okay with it, especially on your last set, this is one of those ones that you can really just go like beyond failure with. It's hard to hurt yourself doing this exercise. So if you get a couple more plates on here, and at 25, you get a little bit lower into the squat. You get your prescribed 8 to 10 reps. Let's imagine that's what it is or whatever. And then take a 10-second pause at the bottom. We call that a rest pause. Obviously talk with Ange about this, but like if you take a rest pause at the bottom, so a 10-second rest, pick up the weight again, do another 3, 4, 5 or whatever to failure, take another 10 seconds, and then go again one more time. And maybe that 10-second break, you're stripping off one of those plates because you can't do as much. That would be like insane peak glute intensity, growth, fatigue, all of that stuff. And yeah, if you fix that, the chest down towards the floor, so still a flat back, but chest down towards the floor, and then kick your butt up here a little bit more. And as you're squatting down, you're like not just pushing hips back like Andrew was saying too, but the cue that I like to think about is like don't let your knees come forward at all, which is like the wrong cue for a proper back squat, for example. But when we're doing this one, don't let your knees come forward at all from that standing position. So right here, now it's like, yeah, the knees will bend, but the hips will shoot back so far. And then if you feel like the knees are starting to travel forward, that's where you would stop and come back up again.
Yeah, I would say like that's totally fine if you want to do like the rest pause thing, like he's saying. We can adjust some things if you want, but again, like I'm glad that you put this in here now so then we can adjust things in the future. It's 45, but because it's like in a landmine position, you're taking away a lot of weight. So I would just probably add the weight that you put on. Okay. Have you tried like the interlock method like this? Okay, cool. Yeah. Other than
Yeah,
that, I don't. Go
if you're
ahead.
strapping up properly, then that shouldn't be an issue. You shouldn't feel the need at all to interlock your fingers at the same time. Um, I'm curious if you're putting the strap on the same side as your palm when you initially wrap it around the bar, or is the strap going in the opposite side of the bar? Okay, that's making it
Mm,
harder. So
yeah.
you want your palm on one side of the bar, and the strap needs to loop over on the other side, and you'll wrap it really tight. Imagine like my finger here is the bar. Your wrist needs to be as close to the bar as you can, and then you're wrapping that strap over top on the opposite side of your palm.
Mm,
Yeah, if you do that, then there's no grip issue at all.
yeah. Hamstring curl. Pretty self-explanatory, but like this type of movement you can go super heavy on, which is really cool. Um, it really doesn't matter. I mean, like when you're flexed like this, you're gonna get your calves a little bit more. It's gonna make it easier as well, so you can go heavier. But if you like point your toes and relax your calves, it's gonna be a lot harder. But you're gonna isolate your hamstrings more. That's just so nitpicky. Do whatever feels good for you. On your negative though, I would slow down your negative because right from this first half of you letting go, right there is really speedy. So I want to see like a big tight squeeze. Bring that weight in as close as possible to your hamstrings and then slowly let out. Yeah. Looks great though. Nice. I like your like using the handles. You're pulling yourself down into that seat and you got a lot of grit on your face. That's good. I like it. Good. Dead.
Oh, there we go. I can zoom in now. Ah, she just finishes. That's awesome. Yeah, it's good. Nice work.
Nice. Okay. How do these feel? Yeah. So think of like your abs contracting and then releasing as any other muscle. So for example, like a leg extension or something. We're going to have that full range of motion. So when you drop your legs even more, maybe a little bit behind you, you're going to stretch your abs more and relax them and then contract them again. So these type of exercises is what makes your abs pop later on. So yeah, maybe just not even like bring your feet down, but you can almost bring your knees back a little bit for a bigger stretch in your abs, and then you have a good contraction and everything. So I would just do that one little tweak. I think this is great. Yeah.
Raven, are you feeling this in your abs more or your hip flexors? Okay, good, cool, good, nice. I think that's it there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we got Raven again. Go
Heck yeah.
ahead. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, I'm glad you took a video of this because a lot of people just don't really understand it, which is understandable. I like putting a pad below my knees just because I find that it can hurt. I don't know if you want to or not. Okay, no worries. Really good contraction at the bottom. Like you're allowing your back to round, which is really good because, like I said, contracting the muscles like that. Same kind of thing when you go back up. I want you almost like letting your body like arch back and then really stretching out your abs. So right now when you're at the top, it's very neutral. Your back is just nice and straight. Almost allow your back to bend a little bit so then your abs get a really good stretch. Um, you can probably go a little bit closer as well to the actual machine because when I've done this exercise, I like it almost like by my neck, like my hands. Um, that's just my preference, but you're gonna feel a lot more in control when you are closer to the cable machine. Good tempo. Everything looks great. Taylor, do you have anything else to add?
How do you feel, Angela, about her facing away from the machine and doing it?
You can do that too.
I like facing away from the machine because as we reach up to the top here, you're losing you lose almost all tension in the abs, right? Like we don't really feel much at the top up here, and now you're really relying a ton on grip. Your grip's gonna get taxed no matter what you do, but it just feels a lot like so much grip and almost lats even as you initiate the curl, as you initiate the downward motion, you have to like drive your upper body down. And so I feel like there's not as much tension this way, but if you face away from it and like Angela said, sitting a little bit closer to the machine, you're going to feel the same level of tension all the way up as you stretch your abs up and open up your rib cage, and then as you curl your ribs down towards your pelvis again. Andrew already touched on it too, but just like the emphasis of really, really curling your spine as much as you can with this one. So facing away, yes, the hips are going to naturally sit back a little bit, but your goal is to try to not let your hips shoot back because that's going to make it your back flatter. So if you can just like think about your spine and each vertebrae slowly one by one, you're just rotating it down and tucking your ribs down to your pelvis, rounding your back as much as you can. That's what's going to give you like the absolute best contraction.
But yeah, you can definitely face away from the machine too. That'd be good. Thank you.
Gangster. All right, my turn. We got Jasmine with the frog pumps. Got a couple girls doing it now, and a couple girls are telling me, Taylor, I won't be caught dead in the gym doing that. Change it out immediately.
If this was in my program, I would be like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I showed it Angela this one that I put in there, and she's like, I can't believe your clients are letting you do this to them. But hey, if you've done it before, is Jasmine here right now?
So
No? Okay, I just had to pop back in here to see. Hey, if you're one of my clients and you've done these Smith machine frog pumps before, you know they're freaking crazy, and it doesn't require any weight at all to get your glutes like absolutely lit the fuck up. The feedback I would have for you here right now, Jasmine, would be, and here's the thing. This will come with a question first. It starts with a question. First off, are you getting an amazing burn in a really, really tight contraction as you're pressing your heels up to the sky? If you are, then don't change a thing, okay? Because this is going to be based on your anatomy and muscle contraction, your mind-muscle connection, all that kind of stuff. It becomes very individualized for each person. But in the event that you are not feeling as great of a contraction as you might want to or feel like you could, then you're going to want to slide this bench a little bit closer, a little bit further underneath the bar, and then that's going to allow you to drive your knees down closer to the floor. Because right now you're getting to right here, but if your hips are almost like directly underneath the bar, then your knees can come down even further, and that's going to emphasize that glute stretch even more. And then when you drive your feet back up into the sky, and almost like your goal is to almost, when you press up, yeah, you're actually doing a good job of this. I was going to say almost like lifting your hips up off the ground, off the bench a little bit to get that big peak contraction. Because this one, like, we emphasize a lot in this program about like deep ranges of motion, getting the deepest stretch that you possibly can. That does elicit the most muscle growth. Those things are true 99% of the time. There are certain muscles, like the triceps, and certain exercises where you are going to get a little bit more muscle hypertrophy at the peak contraction instead. The frog pumps is going to be one of them. And same thing with like the hip thrust. That's why Angela and I have told a lot of you, hey, like, I only want you going halfway down on the hip thrust. I really want you to squeeze hard at the top. Because it'll give you a bit more growth. So overall, this looks pretty good. If you're not feeling it as much as you want to, maybe slide the bench a little bit closer underneath the bar. Get your hips closer underneath the bar. The distance between where your hips are and the bar itself is quite great. So if we could make it maybe closer to where, like, maybe where your hamstring is, if that's where your glute was, right? Then you might feel a little bit better contraction at the top.
I've also seen, oh, hi, I meant to say something. I've also seen, instead of moving the bench closer, just moving your body closer so then your hips are almost off of the bench a little bit. So then you can really get your hip, like your legs down. Does that make sense?
Can you say that again?
I've also seen people do this where they don't move the bench closer to the bar. They just move their hips closer so that their hips are almost like hanging off the bench.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try that too, for sure.
So
Yes.
move the bench out more and then move your hip.
In that case, yeah, the bench would need to come out to the left more, and you need to come away from the bar more so that your hips can get off the bench over here somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, I like that idea too. That's great. But yeah, Jasmine, just like if you're, again, at the end of the day, if you're feeling it really well, then you're good to go. And we've got Chelsea, and Chelsea's in the chat. What's up? What's up? Trying to fix my deadlift, 140 pounds. I want to look at this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you're muted now.
I'm muted?
Oh, can hear you again. That was weird.
Weird.
Happened in the beginning too.
It maybe have been because I had this on. Can you hear me now?
Don't do that.
Okay. All right. Looks pretty freaking good to me. The only thing is, like, Chelsea, do you have a barbell at your gym? I feel like you have to have a barbell at your gym, right?
I don't have a barbell.
There's no barbell at all, hey?
No.
And this is just a regular, like, deadlift? Like, it's not a Romanian deadlift? Okay. We're going to get that out of your program then. It's just too... there's just nothing you can really do about it. It's not your fault. It's my fault, if anything, that I have this in your plan right now. We shouldn't be doing a regular deadlift. The reason why is just because the Smith machine forces you to be in a certain fixed position, and that's great for some exercises like Romanian deadlift, a million other things, but when it comes to the conventional deadlift, it forces you to not be able to be into the most optimal position. Like, for instance, at the bottom of this, your hips are just so far back. It's just putting so much strain on your lower back. Not that that's going to, like, automatically cause an injury or anything, but you are just going to get a little bit more low back pain than you need.
Yeah, that's what Angela said the last time I checked this. And then she said to try and be in more of a Z position. So I was trying really hard to do that, but I was still struggling to get that Z.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes it more challenging. And then because of your Smith machine, it doesn't let you go all the way down to the floor. You have to elevate your feet. And now your feet are in this spot where it's like if you put too much weight, on your heels or on your toes, you're going to flip that box underneath. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yep, exactly.
I'll just get that out of your plan. Let's just move on from this one. Overall, I mean, it looks it's the same good feedback that I've given you in the past in terms of, like, range of motion is good. You're explosive on the way up. I love that, especially as somebody who's going to be a competitive athlete. Like, those are good things. At the top of it too, because that machine is fixed in that position, you're not even thinking about it, but you just know that bar is not going anywhere. So you, like, really emphasize this leaning backward thing. If you did that with a free barbell, you'd fly backwards and land on your ass. So it's almost like teaching you incorrectly how to do it, the machine.
Jasmine got booted off, so do you want to go over that, or do you want to
go over what?
Like her video, or?
Well, yeah, Jasmine, I would. No, we're definitely not going to go all over it again. She can watch it, but Jasmine, if you're feeling the frog pump really good in your glutes, don't change a thing. If you're not feeling it so much, then Angela had a really good suggestion. Move this bench out away from the bar. So to the left in this case, move it this way a bit more, and allow your hips to almost sit, like, right at the edge of the bench, so that when you, like, your hips almost can drop off of the bench when you're at the bottom position to get a better stretch. And then as you drive your feet up, getting a really, really strong peak contraction in the glutes. That's the emphasis here, kind of like the hip thrust where we only go halfway down and then squeeze hard at the top. Just like the hip thrust, the frog pump, you're going to get the most out of this one with the contraction rather than the stretch. So, but again, at the end of the day, if you're feeling this and it feels really good and it hurts really bad, then don't change anything. That's the most important thing, is that you feel that mind-muscle connection. Sarah, let's see. Keep using my traps, I think, instead of my lats and tips here. Usually the last 3 of a set, I notice the switch in my muscles, really trying to have the elbows leading, pinkies up. Well, those are all the right things to say, for sure.
Maybe we mean instead of delts? Instead of, Sarah, you said instead of your lats, but instead of your delts. Lats would be, like, under here. That'd be, like, a back exercise.
Yeah. I think that you're doing what you're saying you're trying to do. You're trying to lead with the pinkies. The elbows are trying to lead as well. The thing that's going to make this harder right now, Sarah, is that you're perfectly straight up and down. Like, your torso, your spine is perpendicular with the floor. So your body and the floor made a right angle. What's going to make this a little bit easier to feel this more in your delts, if you don't change anything about your technique, like you're still thinking of lead with the pinkies, lead with the elbows, but instead of this position, floor, body, I want you to be right here instead. Just a slight, it's not even that much. It's probably more like this. Like you're just leaning forward slightly, and then continue to, as you raise, lead with the elbows, lead with the pinkies. You're trying to push your arms away from your body. You're trying to lengthen your arms as much as you can. And you could do that right now. Like if you were all sitting here right now with me, you know what it feels like shrugging your shoulders into your neck, and all of a sudden your traps are like on fire and you feel them. Or pushing your arms away from your body, trying to lengthen your arms as much as you possibly can. So lengthen your arms as much as you can. Thumb down, pinky up, lead with the elbow, and just tilt forward just a touch, like the very initial part of a Romanian deadlift, and then just stay in that position. If you do that, you're going to feel a lot more in your delts than in your traps. The biggest cue is don't shrug your shoulders into your neck. Lengthen your arms as much as you can. This is overall pretty damn good. Sarah,
Yeah.
is Sarah here?
No.
Damn. Sarah, watching this later, just shoot me a message. Do you have a machine lateral raise? They're typically seated machines where you put your forearms on the inside and you can like open up. If you have one of those, then we're just going to go to that, so then you don't have to worry so much about like all the cueing and stuff. The lateral raises are a very technical exercise to get it done right. And that's not to say that like you can't do them or you can't get better with them, but like why don't we include that other exercise? Maybe you do 2 sets of this one and 2 sets of the machine, just to really ensure that you're getting the most that you can out of that.
I find it's also just like really hard not to engage traps in that one, so you're gonna get a little bit of trap most likely, Sarah.
100%. There's nothing you can do to avoid it entirely. Like your muscles, your body is like an interwoven nerves and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to happen. Am I still here? Ange is muted now, for me at least. I don't. There you are. No, you were for a split second. I heard you. There you are now.
Okay.
Was it like your phone? What was that? Oh.
Yeah, it's like connected to my phone somehow. It's like I have to pause and resume it. I don't know why. It's weird.
Weird. Okay, let's take a look at Chelsea's 3-point row. 3-point row, everybody. I promise you can lift 20% more than you are, okay? I don't care who you are, across the board. Everybody can probably lift 20% more than they actually are. Let's take a look and see what Chelsea's got. And the answer for you, Chelsea, is yes, you can lift 20% more. You could probably lift 50% more. So this weight is, I don't know, it looks like maybe a 30, 35 or something. Add another 50%. What is that, 17? You could probably get yourself up to 45 pounds, probably 50 pounds in short time. How many reps is this, though? That was 2, I think. 3, 4, 5. So many. 11 and 12. 11? 10 to 11, something like that. Oh, here's the deal, Chelsea. I'm so glad that you posted. What am I doing here? Can you guys see my stuff? There we go.
Yeah.
The deal for you, Chelsea, is a few things. One, push your feet way back here. Like you need to get more parallel with the floor. You're way too vertical right now. Take a look at the video that this exercise is in, like inside the workout. And there's a little 15-second video. Watch it, and you'll see that my body position is nearly parallel with the floor. It doesn't need to be parallel. I actually don't want it to be parallel, but I definitely want you down several more degrees. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that comfortably without your chin touching this bench is you have to walk your feet back a little bit more. And then you should be realistically like leaning all of your weight into this hand onto that bench. Like that's the type of position that you want to be in, where your opposite foot, so not your left leg in this case because you got left arm, your right leg, you should be able to, if you wanted to, lift your foot off the ground. And it should not change at all your body position or where you're putting pressure on your weight. You should have like 80% of your body weight in this hand, leaning into this really heavily, and then like 20% in this foot. And that's like where your weight distribution is like leaning into this a lot. Okay.
I disagree with that, but I don't think you should be able to pull your...
Sorry, one sec here. Feet back here, and then lean heavily into this front foot and get your back, not here, but more like here.
You just said front foot again. You said lean heavily into the front foot.
Hand is I was highlighting this. My bad.
Yeah, I find I'm just gonna make a quick point. I've never been able to lift my front foot off of the ground or feel like I'm even close to it. I don't really understand that personally. Like because your weight is all in the front.
Yeah, I think I meant to say this back leg. Yeah, your back leg. Whatever your back leg is, your back leg should be able to, like, not while you're doing the exercise, obviously, but like when you're sitting there stationary.
Okay, that would be back leg.
You should be able to just lift your back leg off the ground and then nothing changes about your body position or your control. Now, you wouldn't do that and then row, obviously. I'm just saying, like, in terms of where your weight is positioned, your back leg, you should be able to lift it off the ground. That's how your weight should be pushed into that bench.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, my bad. And then yeah, it's just so lean forward more, and then go ahead and do this again. It'll look way better from there. That's the only thing I need you to do right now. Makes sense? I think she's here.
She's not anymore.
She's not anymore. Okay, cool. Okay, what do we have? Chelsea 3-point row first 2 videos or 45. Oh, okay. First video is a 45. So in that case, you could probably do a 60 or 65. Last with 35, we don't have 40.
You're kind of muted-ish, echoey again.
Kind of muted again, echoey-ish.
Oh, I can hear you again.
I think it's a Riverside thing because I'm not adjusting anything.
Yeah, no, it was like that in the very beginning, like Raven said too.
So yeah, what I meant is the back leg. My bad. Yeah, the back leg should be able to come off the ground. Sometimes, everybody, it's just a matter of watching the videos a couple times to make sure that you're like doing it the same way. And you won't know right away. Obviously, if it's your first time doing the exercise, you won't know immediately that you're doing it right or wrong. But if you take a video of yourself, you watch that first set while you're letting your rest timer go, and then you compare your video to the video in the workout itself, you should be able to tell pretty quickly, like, oh, okay, I'm way too vertical here. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what we got here. Any other feedback, Ange?
No, I think just leaning down more and really emphasizing the weight on your arm and front leg. Remember our in-person event in Chilliwack, Chelsea, at the gym? About how much you can really use your body language to row that weight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Jasmine, I know I need to go lower, she says, with your audio. Yikes. Okay, let's see. I meant that for the audio. So yeah, depth is the only thing for us to really care about right now. Everything else looks mostly pretty good, but there's nothing for us to tweak until we get the depth. If you don't feel confident being able to squat deep enough with this weight, then it's too heavy. So you have to lower that weight a bit. And then these look like they're bolted in.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. If there's other safety bars that you can take in and out, then that'd be nice to have so that you can really challenge yourself to push harder, because these are super low. Like, this is going to protect the floor maybe, and like it'll protect you, but you're definitely going to fall. You're definitely going to hit the floor if you fall with these. Cool. Yeah. So let's use that one if you can. And then, yeah, you might have to just take this down to 25 pounds on each side first, work on that depth before anything else. That was a Roger that confirmation request. Okay, Jasmine. Ange, anything else in the squat?
No, I think just, I would like to see the way you unrack the bar as well, like from the very beginning of it being in the rack and you step out. But yeah, overall, like, depth, I think, is the number one thing right now.
Agreed. Okay, and then Jasmine again here. Not sure if I was supposed to put my knee in or my foot. Not
English?
sure if am I crazy? I'm not sure if I was supposed to put my knee in or my foot because the instructions said my knee, but the video showed me her sitting on it for the band assisted pull up. Oh. Yeah, totally. If you stand in it, you're gonna get more help. If you put your knee in it, you're gonna get less help because it's just less of a stretch on the band, right? Well, good thing you didn't. That would be a pretty terrible video for us to have to watch. Your husband uploads it. Hey, I know she passed, but can you give me some feedback? Because I'm just gonna take over her membership. Yeah. So feet are too close to your glutes, I would say, is the biggest thing. Because at the top here, see how your knees are your knees look like they're a little bit less than 90 degrees. And if anything, I would say have your knees a little bit more than 90 degrees, because the further your feet are away from your body, the more hamstring you'll get. The closer your feet are underneath your hips, the more quads you're going to get. Obviously, this is a glute-focused exercise, but either way, having that said, let's bring the feet up. Like, your toes could be literally just like right here.
Yeah, no, I think this looks good overall.
Yeah. Pretty freaking sweet. Wow.
Whoa, freaking hip mobility.
That's
Holy
crazy.
moly.
I am so jealous. What the hell?
Holy cow. I like how me and you were both like, whoa.
Yeah, oh my goodness. My knees would go like, my knees are like right here. Like if I, wow, I am so jealous. That's
That's very impressive. Oh, that's awesome.
okay. Let's see. We got a Romanian deadlift here. Is this Romanian here, Jasmine? No, this is a regular one. Okay. I'd love to be able to see this from a little bit further away so I could see your upper body too, because it looks like imagine your back has to round to be able to do this. Maybe not though. Maybe you just have.
Because she's super flexible.
Yeah. But it looks and feels a lot more like a traditional deadlift, and you're still doing this really wide stance. I keep telling you to bring your feet in. Your feet still are really wide. I think you want to bring them in a little bit more too. When I do my deadlift, now everybody's going to be a little bit different, and in my deadlift I have a relatively narrower stance than average as well. But I have my feet like maybe 1 foot length apart from each other. Like if you took one of my foot and placed it horizontally in between my 2 feet, like that's where my feet are. When
One
I'm
of my
deadlifting.
foot.
And that's really narrow for a lot of people. You don't need to do that, but I definitely think that you could bring your feet in like at least 1 foot width, like from pinky toe to big toe. Bring that distance in one. I think you're gonna look and feel a lot stronger doing that.
Maybe I think for both feet, even like do that for both feet.
Yeah. Again, like your problem is never that you're not lifting enough. You're always like lifting heavy weights, which is great. There's not much knee bend happening, which if this is Romanian deadlift, as you said, then that's great. But we want to really sit those hips back too. Like as you're lowering, it looks almost kind of just like you're just like bringing the weight straight down. When instead what we want to do is keep that chest puffed up as much as you can and then really push your hips back. Like in my mind, when I'm doing it, I'm telling myself the only way that this weight can go down is if my hips go back. So for every inch that bar goes down, my hips are moving an inch back. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I can't lower the bar any more than my hips will allow me to go back. And that puts you in this perfect position where you lower the bar as much as you can until your hamstrings feel like they're so tight they're going to explode. And then from there, squeeze in the glutes and thrust the hips forward to bring the weight back up to the top. So the weight, in most cases, for most people, is not even going to touch the ground. It might only go to like right there at the most before your hamstrings feel like they're going to explode. So this tells me that I think that your chest is kind of caving forward, your shoulders are probably rolling forward a little bit, and your back is rounding a little bit. That's what I imagine is happening. Okay. And then we got the pull through. So with the pull through, now, this one is a glute exercise, actually. So it's actually, imagine it's basically the same thing as a Romanian deadlift with a barbell or a dumbbell, but you're using a cable instead. So all of this shoulder flexion, meaning that like as you, right here is good. All you need to do is get your back perpendicular with the floor. Like just pull your chest up and stand upright. That's all you need to do. So all this arm motion coming up needs to stop. You're just going to let your hands are just hooks. Your arms are not working at all with this movement. Does that make sense? Yeah, so they're just basically going to, like, as you sit back, cool, hands go between the legs, and as you squeeze your glutes to come to stand upright, your hands are basically just sitting at your crotch, and then you just lower the weight again. Yeah.
I wonder, I mean, I know the video. Have you watched the video of this, Jasmine? Okay. Yeah, it's literally just a hinge with your hips. That's all you're doing.
Is it my video? Is it a video of me?
I don't know. I tried finding it right now. I couldn't.
Jasmine, do you know? Do you remember? I'm pretty sure I've made that video before. So this is definitely a lot more like the video that we have right now. One thing that I'm going to be doing in the next, I'm going to say 30 days. I don't have it booked in yet, but it's something that's been in the back of my mind for a while, is like making a lot more videos for you guys so that it's not random people, because I try my best to find videos that are as close to what I want as possible, but
Yeah.
it's not always the case. And then even updating some of the videos that I have in there, Angela's giving me some flack for my lateral raises that I have in there. And then even my 3-point row, I don't like it. What I would love to happen here is a combination between Jasmine's 3-point row and Chelsea's 3-point row. Like, I like that Chelsea was using the back of an incline bench so that she could really lean into it, but she can be a little bit more stable with both feet firmly planted on the ground. But I like that Jasmine is hinged forward more. So if we can kind of find a middle ground where Jasmine, you're in the same kind of like using the same setup as Chelsea, but Chelsea, you're hinging forward more the way that Jasmine is, that would be like an ideal spot. The tempo is good. Range of motion is good. The weight, watch the dumbbell. Like, imagine if we just deleted your whole body, photoshopped your body, and we watch this floating demon dumbbell. It's just coming straight up and straight down, right? What I would like to happen is this dumbbell kind of arc backwards a little bit, not all the way back to your hip. Some people overemphasize this like crazy and it looks ridiculous, but just bringing it right up to like the top of your hip or like middle of your ribs a little bit. So that elbow, if you're thinking about it, you're not thinking about pulling the weight with your hand and pulling your hand here. That's not the thought process that we want to happen. The thought process is I want to drive my elbow back behind my back as much as I possibly can. So watch that dumbbell. Again, delete your body. It's just coming straight up to the top of your chest. It needs to come up here more. And then as it's coming down, it's going to like lurch forward a little bit like you had it initially. So you got this kind of angled, swinging, pendulum type motion. That's an ideal position.
Can you full screen this?
I can full screen this. Yeah, I think you need to go foot inside instead. This is just, we're not quite there yet. But I know that, yeah, like you said, I have the note in there to do the knee, so that's my bad. This is why it's so important, everybody, to send your videos in. Like, if you think that you're just going to get it perfect every time, or that me as your coach is going to get it perfect every time, like, it's not gonna happen. I'm not there with you in person, and I can only see so much out of the assessments. So getting these videos over and getting this feedback is so important for you to have more success with this. Put your foot in it, stand tall in it. Do you have an assisted pull-up machine? Okay, cool. I actually don't mind the band. I don't know why, but for some reason, watching you use the band, I feel like you're going to get more out of it with the band than you would in a machine. I think it's because I really trust and I know that you're going to like die trying to do it, which is good. Like, you're going to push really, really hard. And the band is a lot more difficult. And it's easier to just accidentally have more assistance than you need with a machine.
I don't know if you've ever seen my version of a banded pull-up, Jasmine, but I like hook it into the racks, like a squat rack. So then so the band is like this now. All I have to do is just step on top of it. Yeah. I personally like that. It just feels out of my way more. But then that way you can adjust accordingly, like how high you can put the band and how much assistance you're going to have based on that. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Chelsea, can I get a progress check on my squat? The first video is from the beginning of December, and the second is from today. I'm wondering if I need to decrease the weight or so I can squat deeper. So this is from December. Oh, Chelsea.
Nice.
I think you just need to squat deeper. I know you're thinking that maybe the weight's too heavy for you to squat deeper. Okay, maybe it is. The first couple reps look pretty damn easy to me, but as you're getting more tired here, as more reps pile on, yeah, I can see where you're at with it. Yeah, maybe just a touch lighter, like just a touch. If you can lower it by 2.5 pounds each side, that would be great. So I don't know how much weight you got on there. Let's try to see. I want to see.
I would say more than, well, it depends on the rep range, I guess.
Looks like, what, a 45 and a 10? So you got, what, 155? It looks like it's about 155. I'd go to 145 at the lowest because you're so freaking close. I think part of it, yeah. I think if you lowered it just a touch with the weight, and then you just ask yourself to push a little harder too. I know you push very hard. Like, I'm not saying that you're being a wimp or anything like that. Nothing to do with that. I think it's just a self-belief thing more than anything. But I think you got that for sure. Hey, cool t-shirt. I'm assuming this is heavier weight than the first video because the range of motion is decreased immensely from the first video.
It's also not a straight I don't think it's a straight Smith machine. The other one was straight up and down.
No, this one's definitely at an angle if you look at the frame. Yeah, I mean, to answer the questions plain and simple here, yeah, I think the weight needs to come down a bit so that you can start off with getting that deep range of motion. And maybe even with this one, Chelsea, like just as a little sample for yourself, strip the weight, the second weight off entirely. So it'll be like really easy. And then just squat as low as your body will physically allow you to. Like get your butt cheeks touching your ankles, like low, 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 just to feel it out. Don't even do it as like a working set, but just do it for a few reps as a warm up, just to like really open up your hips and feel what it's like to get deep, 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 deep into a squat. And then load on a more appropriate weight, hips down to the normal, knee height, and use that as a working set weight.
No, I would say like if this is two separate gyms, Chelsea, maybe try on that second video in that bigger space if there is a barbell, like a free weight barbell. But I don't know if this is a separate gym or not. I have no idea. But I'd say if you have access to it, try it out.
Addie, did I send you a video? I don't know if I did. No, I didn't. I don't know. Let's see. No, I don't think I gave you feedback on these ones yet. Let's see.
Can you full screen it?
So with this, hey, here's a standard, everybody. Bar's got to touch your chest. Bar doesn't touch your chest, not a rep. Doesn't mean you're not working hard, but so that we can maintain a standard for how we're doing the lift, and we can ensure that we're always getting the required range of motion, bar must touch the chest. Because here's the thing, if we don't have that as a standard, then how low is low enough? Because it might change day to day, week to week, even rep to rep. As you get more fatigued, imagine you were doing 10 reps of this, and you don't have a standard of needing to touch your chest. Your 8th, 9th, and 10th rep, the likelihood that you're not getting the same range of motion as your first, second, and third rep is very, very high. So we just want to make sure we're doing that all the time. In terms of the actual quality of the rep and your positioning and everything, I don't have an issue with it. I think you're looking pretty good with this. Yeah, it's just going to be let's get the bar lower, and then let's see from there if there's some breakdown in the technique.
Can I quickly add? Yeah. I personally would move the bench down towards the mirror more. I just feel like your arms are a little bit too far. Can you not hear me at all? Okay, that's so weird. Yeah, I would actually move the bench down towards your feet more so that your body is now positioned a little bit more under the bar, because it almost looks like your arms are like a little bit too far down instead of here. They look a little bit too low, in my opinion. It might be from the angle, I can't really tell properly, but yeah, bring your feet closer to your butt as well, like underneath your hips almost, so you can really emphasize some extra leg drive, pushing through your heels, pushing through your feet to get that weight up.
Yep. Valid. Okay, and then we've got the pull-ups. Now with the pull-ups, the standard that I set for Maddie and for most people is 25% of your current body weight. Do as many reps as you can. So it looks like we got like 2 quality reps out of this one, which is good. And now we know that for you, Maddie, 25% of current body weight, 2 reps, that's what the standard is. So now that we're in your actual program and you still have this exercise in your program, let's go with 35%. Figure out what 35% of your body weight is, use that as the assistance, and then do all the reps that are prescribed for you. Over time, you're going to work that to 30, and then you're going to work it to 25, and so on and so forth, until you're doing 800 strict body weight pull-ups in a row.
Wow.
It's going to happen. It'll only take a month.
When is yours going to happen?
Oh, I'm already doing them all the time.
Oh, crazy how I've never seen a video of that.
Yeah, I don't really like to take videos working out. That was live, everybody. And Cameron, I already gave Cameron some good feedback on his assessments. He's now inside his program doing that now. We already covered this. And we are at the end of our Form Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping in. A little bit longer than normal, but hey, we're here to serve everybody as long as you guys keep doing your thing and posting these videos. I'm going to see what we have going on in the chat before we end things off. Studio chat. Can't hear a thing. Same. Got better. Okay, I'm here, but I'm not here. Like I can't respond to questions. Gotcha. I got to run. Thank you. Thank you. Can I say something? You metric system people will find funny. Go ahead, Raven. Tell us the metric system thing.
Try it out. If it feels more comfortable for you.
Nice.
Hey, it's so yeah. Also, like on a cable, it feels way heavier too than like a free weight. Yeah. Even for us though, like we all of our stuff, we talk about pounds. We don't really talk in kilograms. Certain machines, certain gyms also super weird that they have that in the States for kilograms. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly what we have too.
That would make sense
But
though.
you guys do like you guys use like feet and other things that no one else in the whole wide world uses.
We use feet and inches.
Is it us?
Yeah, we use feet and inches too. We're not technically, we're supposed to be meters, centimeters bullshit,
Yeah, but
but
like we don't use feet like in a technical sense. Like if you were like in a business like marking up distances and
yeah.
stuff like that, it's like yeah, we use feet like more casually from what I understand. Kilometer.
Actually, when I was in like drafting and we would do like floor plans and stuff, it was always in feet and inches. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how any of it. I literally, if you told me imperial versus metric, I'd have to go online and be like, what's the difference between like which one's which? Why do I need to know that? I don't. For anything that I need to do to be productive in my life, I don't need to know the difference between the two. I know what a pound is and a kilogram. Another side little note here: we say we were about to tease you for saying kilometer because no one says kilometer. We say kilometer, right? What about millimeter? We don't say kilometer, we say kilometer. But we also we say millimeter. Yeah, why don't we say millimeter? Huh? I don't know. Or instead of centimeter, centimeter.
Are we also only like one of the few countries that drives on the right hand side of the road? I don't know. Everywhere else in the world drives
Drives
on the
on the
left
left.
hand side. Yeah. I don't know about South America, but North America for sure.
Yeah, we do kilometers too. Okay, chill out. You know what's a pain in the ass? In Canada, all of our treadmills at most gyms are also like American. So
So
we have
weird.
we have to switch it over if it even allows, because some of the treadmills they don't even allow you to switch it over. So you got to like convert it in your brain. You're like, oh okay, I just ran. I've got to run 0.62 miles to get my kilometer in or whatever. Or it's the other way around. Either way, I don't know.
That way,
That way.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. You get 0.62. I'm gonna go take my dog for a walk. So that's that. Hope you all have an amazing day. Raven, it's a two-part with a question. LOL. Let's see if he lets me. Oh, is that part of your? Okay. Okay. Toodles. Bye, everybody. Oh, hey. Before you all go, don't leave. Don't leave. We've got our party coming up. Vision board party. 10 a.m.
Party.
ST. I don't care if there's playoff football. It's only going to be an hour. You can pause it. You got TiVo if you're in the States. TiVo, my God. You can pause your shit, all right? Join the vision board party. It's going to be a badass time. There's going to be no gifts. I'm not paying you guys to show up. You're going to show up and kick some ass, and we're going to set some goals for 2026. Y'all got it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm there. LOL. I have a dog for nails, but I can be there. Hell yeah, you will. Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.
Hi.